Hello and welcome back to Tim Unscripted. Today I'm going to ask you a simple question. Have you heard about Warmwind? Let me get into this. I caught Warmwind over a year ago and I thought, wow, this is kind of an interesting solution to AI agents. And you can see their YouTube channel. You can go check them out for yourself. They are on LinkedIn. I know they, of course, have warmwind.ai as their home website. But something significant happened just this past week, which is the reason why I'm recording the video. Warmwind has been kind of in a sort of stealth mode for over a year, and you can see that, the latest videos are a little bit older. So they've been out there, they've been demoing their capability, and I think I even recorded a video. If I did, then I'll be sure to put the link in the comments for that original video. But here's what happened. So I got this email, and believe me, I signed up for a lot of things with the expectation that I'm not going to get access, but I did this time around. And I think I actually got access to the initial public launch of ChatGPT. So this is really me being on the very leading edge of where generative and agentic AI are headed. So you're getting a preview of early access to Warmwind. And I say early access to Warmwind because I just set this up this morning. And if you've been watching the channel, generally I record all of my videos on the weekend. And so this has been kind of sitting in my inbox for the last few days. So I set up a brand new worker. I'm going to do some configurations on this to do a more formal demo. But what I wanted to let you know is, I guess I am one of the people who was really patient that Warmwind decided to grant early access to. And so this is kind of a preview of coming attractions and the capability that you're going to have access to when they open it up for general availability. I can't tell you at this point what this is all going to look like as far as the pricing or any of the details around that. I did have a quick chat with one of the support folks. I am setting up some specific accounts that are non-destructive to hopefully wire up some coding activity between VS Code on the web, in addition to GitHub, where all of my public-facing repositories are, and Perplexity as a research assistant to help the Warmwind agent out as it's going through and working with me as far as figuring out my patterns and the way that I work, and then subsequently doing the same work that I would be doing, but here on the interface. One of the things that I did note when I initially accessed the account is that there's the web-based version of the interface as well as a downloadable version of this. For the purposes of these videos, then, more generally, I'm going to probably be using the web. I don't know what the trade-offs are. I may explore those, but I will tell you this. The conversion rate, because Warmwind is based out of Europe, the conversion rate from US dollars to euros is a bit steep, and they are charging on a weekly basis. And of course, this is the early access pricing. So I'm very fortunate. I'm not going to complain. It's not inexpensive, but I think the value of the capability of training agents to perform the kind of routine drudge work, or in my case, this is going to be a little bit more sophisticated, at least for one of these coding demos, might be worth you doing some exploration yourself and seeing if this fits where you want to go as far as the use of artificial intelligence and agentic artificial intelligence specifically. So this is already set up. Of course, I don't have anything wired, but one of the nice things, and I just want to show you this, is there's a list of apps that they've already got embedded in the interface that you can choose from. So this is just that quick tour, kind of an overview. I mean, the fact that you've got access to all of your normal Microsoft tools in addition to Apple tools. You saw the Google tools, more and more licensing. I can't tell you how they're managing all this. I think that this is going to be authenticated through your individual account or a generic account that you set up so that you have oversight and control over what the agents do, which I think, in my opinion, is the safer route. Again, for any of the coding experiments that I'm going to be running, it makes sense to create a separate account that is non-destructive with the lowest level of permissions and authorizations, but really just with the intent to say, hey, this is what capabilities exist within the Warmwind ecosystem, and more importantly, how these agents could perform work for you. So I won't go through the list in its entirety, but it's robust, and just taking a cursory look at this. And of course, they do give you this option to create a custom application. I don't know how useful that's going to be initially, and you may have an application that you want to be part of their ecosystem. That's something that you built. Again, this is not a how-to video. This is just a Tim Unscripted early access to the Warmwind platform. I'm super excited, and not in a bad way, but in a genuinely curious way to see how all this stuff works. So I've got my work cut out for me this weekend in and amongst all the other projects that I have in flight. But now you get to see kind of an early overview of what Warmwind actually looks like from a user's perspective and not necessarily from the team at Warmwind. So I got to get this wrapped up, edited, and posted to the channel, because for me, this has been like a present on Christmas. I've actually been waiting for this, and I am glad to be able to share that I finally have access to it. And there's a lot of experiments I've wanted to run, and now I get to do that. So thanks for watching the video. Take care, and I will see you on another Tim Unscripted video in the future.